Job, yo. Hey, question.
Sure.
Real talk. I've been thinking about this. Yo, y'all think white people play spades?
If they do, what's the name of it?
Some of them.
Hearts.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I would like to welcome you to the Greatest Show on Podcast. I'm your host, Lee.
What else?
AKA Southside Lee on IG.
What else?
And I'm joined by my partner in pod.
Yes. Earlington Agustas the Great.
AKA
Your baby mama's baby daddy.
AKA
Hearts.
AKA
Deep soft. And we are
3ThePodWay. Chumps.
The success took a shot at him. What are you gonna do now? How you gonna kill it? You gonna become unsuccessful?
You goddamn right. Let's give it up for him.
Pull it up.
Gully General.
AKA
Yo, Dungeon Daddy.
AKA
Sesly, Bwoi.
Pull up. DKA.
Dirty Diana.
DKA.
Your girlfriend's worst nightmare.
DKA.
They love to see me come, but hate to watch me leave.
She's here all day, ladies and gentlemen. You okay? Sesly Bwoi.
Yes, sir.
Yow.
Hey, that was amazing.
That was good energy.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Hearts.
That was amazing.
I'm running with that all episode. I'm just going to let y'all know that ahead of time.
Hey, we're going to do this the right way. Let's open up with a word from our sponsors.
Follow 3ThePodWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
Sounds so beautiful, don't you agree?
Are you paying them for that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I actually had that question, but go ahead. I'll let you.
AKA
I'll
tax
feel you.
write-off.
Yeah, I feel you. AKA.
So I also wanted to bring attention to, we do also have a Cash App.
Oh, okay.
If
All
you would
right.
like to support the pod and help the pod grow and help us grow in content and the way that we present content, feel free to Cash App.
Put a little something in there.
Just a little something.
Pay the kids. Because someone brought that up. They were like, so are y'all sponsoring yourself? Like, who are the sponsors? So maybe we need to get sponsors too. That's the second
I
step.
think, hey, if you're open to have your product advertised, by all means.
We'll work on that.
Yeah,
We'll
3thepodway@gmail.com.
Yeah, we get those.
All means,
those rates
get
out
at
of
it.
it.
What's the cash app?
3ThePodWay, Cash App. It'll be somewhere in this area here. Yeah, Ella take care of us.
If we're assuming.
Right. Hey,
Playing my
hey, listen. If you see our videographer's Cash App,
it's not his.
no, take care of him. Hey, respect the shooter. Hey man, so as we always do,
Okay.
we gonna go around the room.
All right, round table.
Yeah, we gonna do it. I'm not starting with you.
Yeah.
How's your week been, man? What's going
Low
on?
loud.
My heart is full.
Yeah. I see what you did there. Doo-doo. He's here all night, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Oh man, my week. How was my week? My week was long, man. Work wise, man. I had a lot of stuff to get. A lot of deliverables to get out by COB today.
It's a good corporate word. Corporate buzzword.
Yeah.
That means he
Say
ain't
it-
do shit.
Yeah. Say it again. Yeah,
I earned my
deliverables.
check this week. Okay, I earned my check this week.
Deliverables. Okay.
But nah, I was definitely hard at work this week, man. I'm looking forward to this 3-day weekend for real.
talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. Dirty Diana, I believe is what you said during the intro.
Something like that.
All right. So how's your week been?
My week was good, fellas. Thank you for asking. It was a little crazy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Do you want to
Positives and
expound on some of the craziness or a particular crazy moment that maybe stood out amongst the rest? There's always one.
Not giving too much away.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think too many people listen to the podcast now.
Okay. I got you. All right.
That's not a bad thing.
Whoa.
Keep listening.
Yeah, keep
and tell some more people.
For the
Tell some more
record,
people.
whatever she's talking about, there's never too many people listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Is it my
man?
turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
All right,
Look at kid in a candy.
Yeah.
Look, he's excited.
Nah, I got swindled recently at the gig. I'm back in the office 100% of the time.
Hey, let's give it up.
Yeah,
Hey, let's
yeah.
give it up for that.
Yeah, so
Polo kid.
That sounds terrible.
I'm gonna go ahead and
terrible.
for the safety of all my partners in pod and my co-hosts and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this this weekly COVID testing. I'm gonna ramp that up there every 3 days just to keep everybody safe.
Yep, we appreciate
just
that.
So if I'm missing a few episodes, y'all know why. I might call in over the phone. But yeah,
hey,
yeah, it happened.
Although we make jokes, we do also want to make the point: everybody continue to wear your mask.
Yeah,
wash your hands.
Double it up.
Protect yourselves and your family members as well, because this is still very much a real thing.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Please continue to protect yourselves, your families, and your coworkers.
That was good.
We here at 3ThePodWay take precautions on our own, which is why we're able to execute this mission every week for you guys.
Right, absolutely. We definitely take those precautions before we come in here. Absolutely.
How was your week, big dog?
Hey man, cold man.
It's been that type of
it was cold, man. This was a long, stressful week, to be honest. As you said, without getting into the intimate details, just having to work through a lot of mental hurdles. But as most things, man, we persevered and we got through it.
And we're here.
Hey, hey, listen again, man. Again, the videographer,
it's
man.
Just bad.
Hey, what are you back there doing, man?
Building a fort, man.
Hey, dude. I just knew it was coming.
We got every time we get ready to do.
Like he's
He's
playing
moving.
a game of hearts in the back.
He's back there brushing his hair. Hey, listen, man, it's just a lot going on, man. Hey, again, still, respect the shooter.
You gotta respect the shooter.
Yeah, so we're gonna open up this week with a moment in Black history, if you will.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Valerie L. Thomas, born February 8th, 1943. Are any of you familiar with her at all?
No, sir.
All right.
You could have prepped this stuff.
No.
We could have talked about this beforehand because now we look crazy. Oh yeah, I know her.
Y'all treat you. I'm just chilling.
Yeah,
No, it's all good. If you prepared, and you don't have to get prepared. She's a NASA physicist, and she's a NASA
Say it in
physicist.
Spanish. Go ahead.
And she actually invented the illusion transmitter, right? And she patented that. So basically, she's responsible for 3D technology.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Right. So again, just I always want to bring up a pivotal moment in Black history. So yeah, let's give it up for
Shout out.
It's probably best you took that away from me because my Black history stats they're there. They're just a little shaky, a little fuzzy.
So keeping in line with Black history, a school in Utah is facing backlash. Why do you think they're facing backlash?
I heard about this.
You heard about it already?
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't prep us for this one, but yeah, I heard about this.
So a school in Utah is facing backlash because the director of the school thought it to be a good idea to send a letter to parents to give them the option to opt out of Black History Month lessons.
What?
Yeah. So immediately, okay, I know what everyone's immediate thought is. Well, where was the letter sent to our parents to opt out of White History Month lessons, which is the other
War of 1812 out of every other.
All right. So
history lesson.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Since I know the story,
right?
I'm almost. I don't want to talk about it because I want to get their opinion, and then we'll drop the bomb on them at the end.
Okay.
Do y'all know the story?
So I was initially like, "Is this a private school?
It's
Please
a charter
don't
school.
tell
It's a
me
charter school. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm thinking, please don't tell me this is a public school because all them Bama should have lost their jobs. Right away.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's like 2021. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. I almost feel like I'm so used to, hearing upsetting things like this that it just.
So I'll tell you what's interesting about the story is what did they use as the actual foundation for opting out? To exercise their civil rights to not participate in Black History Month at the school.
Right. That's the civil rights of the students and the parents. That was what they said.
All right. Do you happen to have? Do you have a thought on that?
The voice. You voiceless? Is the voice
voiceless at this present moment? When I first initially heard it, like when you just brought it, because this is my first time hearing about it, I was appalled.
Yeah.
Just because I mean, I need to hear the background to the story because I have thoughts on it, but I don't want to be, incorrect in my my path of where I'm going.
I forgot the administrator's explanation, but what if I told you? This sound like an episode of 30 for 30, right? What if I told you that lady was black?
It wouldn't matter if it was black or white.
I mean, that's hurtful, but I almost just feel like with everything that's going on in 2020 and 2021,
right?
What kind of person are you that you thought either to bring it, because I'm assuming you had to bring it to some higher power, like one person didn't make this decision, right? So where are you in your space, or what is going on in your space, in your mind, in your life that you think this is the one thing that I think people should have a choice whether or not they engage in? This is the one thing that I'm choosing.
Well,
I think an opportunity to opt out in.
Well, I think what you're seeing is the power of profit, right? The power of profit, whether it's in a school or whether it's with a business, you see the power of profit will drive you to do something morally you may feel is wrong, but obviously she was pushed to a point to where she felt like this was the appropriate thing to do. Yeah. Now, to note, they have reversed it. Like they removed the option to opt out of Black History Month.
Why was it even an option? It doesn't make sense though.
But the thing that kills me, right? It's to your point, right? Like I'm assuming, right? She was playing to her demographic, right?
Absolutely.
We're talking about Utah.
Yeah, school in Utah.
We're assuming that most of the children at this school were white, so she was trying to appease those parents, right?
Right.
But then I guess the second part of that is that would lead me to assume
that you would want to.
No, not even that. That if you're removing this in February, is Black History part of the curriculum all year, and that's why you're doing it right now? It's probably this is the only time y'all talk about these Black people. So then to be equal, we should remove all history, right? Or either integrate this into every other story. So when you talk about the Civil War and Abraham Lincoln, remind them that Frederick Douglass was right there by his side, egging him on that this person, did this as well, and so on and so forth. And when you talk about JFK, then remind them that Martin Luther King was, he died before, you know what I'm saying. So, but I doubt that happens that way.
Yeah,
right?
no, absolutely not.
I don't know if we have. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what are the regulations or the checks and balances for curriculum? Does anyone have any idea? Because I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. So
you have an idea? Okay.
Charter schools and Montessori schools don't have the same regulations in regards to their curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In regards to almost anything, they're a private institution, so they get to develop their own curriculum. All the checks and balances are a lot different. I don't want to say they're wide open, because I am sure there's some listeners that their children go to private charter schools,
right?
But they are not state mandated to follow a structured curriculum like everyone else.
Okay, so them opting out, they absolutely were within their, I guess, right to choose to not participate in Black History Month activities.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's interesting. In more Black History news, if you want to even call it that.
Hopefully, it's better than that.
Do you remember the Aunt Jemima Uncle Ben controversy?
It's not better.
I saw the new box. It's not lit.
Right. So what we have now is we have a
visual for the people.
Pearl Milling Company. Oh, yeah. We'll make sure that the visual's there. Pearl Milling Company.
So it's like General Mills now.
Yeah, has now taken over the Aunt Jemima brand. So you will no longer see Aunt Jemima on your syrup, your pancake boxes. It'll be replaced with.
So how do you know which one to buy?
Well, from a branding standpoint, the color scheme is still the same. The box still remains.
You need the little cap with the girl, the lady, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's not gonna sell.
Well, if you think about it, I was thinking
terrible
about
idea.
This.
Are you saying that's gonna stop you from buying?
Yeah,
probably.
I support the black lady.
Right.
But if you went to so real talk, if you went to Denny's,
right,
yeah,
and you knew the cook in the back, like, are you gonna have Pearl make your pancakes, or are you gonna make Ashley make your pancakes?
I don't know. Ashley, is that a trick question? I'm not sure.
If I'm going to a diner and I want pancakes,
right,
I'm definitely going with Pearl. It don't sound like she been in the kitchen a lot longer. She gonna add a little vanilla in that joint, whip that thing around.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't help.
We're losing our Caucasian view every second.
I cannot help but think about the Popeyes lady when you were just describing that.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, every time I hear that, yeah, man. And then they had our great
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, he went down bad behind that, man.
Well, that's just like your lady with Utah. Hey, everything's got a price.
Right. Hey, the power of profit is in the building.
I'm playing. Look, it is what it is, man.
All right.
No more surprises, bro. Yeah, like Jesus. I thought this was like a happy episode. You taking us down a dark path?
I absolutely am. So
he said I absolutely am.
So
as we continue,
Republican GOP candidate in Michigan, right?
What are you doing, bro?
This already sounds depressing.
Yeah, so he has. I don't want to say his name. He has said
what's our time?
If he's elected, he is going to cancel Black History Month in Michigan,
as he should.
He has.
This what you want?
He has said.
This what y'all want, right?
Hey, verbatim, it's offensive, unfair, maybe illegal.
I agree.
It's offensive.
Americans from all backgrounds deserve a revered history.
I agree.
I'll declare American History Month. What are your thoughts?
Every month is American History Month.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to see a program outline, maybe what the weeks look like.
The curriculum.
If we're saying we're going to cancel not only Black History Month, I'm thinking of, we have multiple months. We have Indigenous Peoples Month. Like, are you saying you're just going to jam all of us coloreds into 28 or 30 days
just
we
evenly
can take our
spread
months?
it throughout the year?
That's not what he's saying.
That's what he's saying.
It's equally spread right now.
Let me
have a month.
Let me ask y'all. So, mind you, we're having a little fun by going through these various topics, right? But can y'all ever recall in our time, right, this many examples of individuals trying to more or less eliminate eliminate Black history? Like, we've seen different times where maybe it's been focused too much on the negative, or the negative side of the civil rights movement, more of an emphasis on slavery. But can y'all ever remember a point where it seems as though there's a conservative effort on erasing Black history?
Yeah.
I don't ever recall that.
I don't recall. It's probably more present,
right?
Because I'm an adult and these are things I care about now, right? But to your point, no, I don't.
And there seems to be more African American sponsors than I can ever remember as well, right?
Yeah, it's weird. The thing is, like these, I think these would be great ideas, right? General, stick with me.
Hold on, when you say these, what ideas?
Like removing the month, right? Or removing that curriculum out of the school.
I'm listening. Yeah.
If, right, all things were equal, right? So if Black people weren't still getting, murdered at a unequal rate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If there still weren't these big gaps in economics and social status and so on and so forth, then it would just make sense, right? But since that isn't the case, these things are still necessary, right?
Right.
So that's just my 1-2 of it. So.
Nah, I can understand that.
Yeah. All right.
You No, absolutely not. Let's.
Thanks.
He was actually my culture clown.
You are so dumb. Okay. You are really dumb. For real.
Insert his name there.
Yeah.
Resolutions.
Yikes! A hell of a.
We just did like a
all over the place. So
now we're back to the topic.
New Year's resolutions. Okay. Here we are in February.
Here we are reclaiming our time.
Yeah, in February, and where are we with our resolutions?
What are those?
If you made a resolution, or if you made a promise to yourself, whatever you want to call it, where are you currently with that? Let's talk about it. So.
Yeah,
anybody?
I don't have any. I don't think I made resolutions
because I think we tried to talk about it. I don't know if anybody made.
No, I don't think. To my recollection, I don't think we came up with any firm resolution.
Why is that though? Were you afraid to not stick to it?
It's not even that. I think for me personally, I had a more inward type of resolution in the sense I didn't really want to voice it too much or like put too much hype behind it.
Okay.
Because it's more so of a intrusive type thing for myself, in the sense that I wanted to heal.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to make it seem like, what does healing look like for you?
Right,
XYZ, XYZ. For me, as you all know, everything, my past year has been rough, or whatever the case is. So my biggest thing for this year was healing.
So how do you feel, like, without diving too deep into it, do you think you're moving in the right direction?
I would say that I'm pushing forward. Yes.
Okay.
It's a slow walk, but I had a few conversations today with a couple of my close friends, so that definitely helped usher me along the path. I think it's still a journey, but I'm definitely seeing some type of light towards the end of the tunnel, right? In a sense. So I think that was my resolution indirectly, without even saying what it was. So we had a conversation.
I hear you, and I think that brings up something as we continue through these resolutions, right? They are for you, right? But you don't have to do it yourself. Like alone, right? So
Right.
realize that, right? If you need help with a resolution, I think that's a thing, right? So
I know
you can reach out for help.
So to piggyback and to kind of elaborate on what you were talking about, because I've always had this thought, right? And this just highlighted it again for me. A movie that I'm a fan of, a movie franchise that I'm a fan of, is The Best Man, right? And ever since I first saw that movie, I've always envisioned having a friend circle, right, that worked and operated that way. Good, bad, or otherwise, we all come together and we make something happen. We make magic happen. And you don't worry about life in the same way, knowing that you have that type of support circle around you. I would like to think that not just myself, but again, the people that you share this podcast with, that we do stand around you in that sense. And we're all there for each other in that way.
For sure.
And I just wanted to provide that point of reference for the people that do watch us and listen to us. That needs to be a thing. It needs to be more of a thing. And I know we all talk about it and everybody talks about supporting each other, but the act is just as important as the intent, right? You can have all the intent in the world, but if you don't act on it, it falls short more times than not. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say openly on this podcast that we love you and that we're here for you in any way that we can be.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir. Ms. Nacy, where are you with your New Year's resolutions? Talk to the ladies. Let them know.
Well, I did my first vision board for the first time this year.
Okay.
That's big.
So I was very excited. So for me, I kind of wanted to focus on a couple of things that were important to me. So I'm not sure if you would call them resolutions, but when January 1 hit, I said, hey, I want to focus on my overall health. So mental, spiritual, and physical.
Okay.
And so when I was executing my vision board, that was one of the largest things that I put on my board. I'm focusing on 4 things in particular, but that is a big thing, just overall health and wellness.
What does that mean? I think we spoke about it.
It's a mic right there.
At a yikes. Like personal time, family time. What does that mean for you?
Yes. So definitely connecting internally. So I think as a wife and mother and career woman and entrepreneur, you give a lot of time and energy to other people and other things. And realizing that once you do that, you don't have a lot to give to yourself to do the types of things that make you happy. And I started feeling like really, really depleted I'll say around the summertime. And I was like, you know what do I need to do to like bring myself back to center? So had a good conversation with Big Daddy. We refocused some of
Yikes.
Tender.
Please keep your pet names at home.
My life partner, my man, my significant other.
We got it. Don't get frazzled now, Big Daddy. Okay,
Big Daddy.
right.
Tenderoni.
Yikes. Okay. So we, had conversations about like how can, we reformat things. Like there's some things that maybe he can help out with more. He's an absolutely fantastic father, really good partner. But I think just you do things because either out of out of convenience. Conditioning.
Right.
Conditioning.
Absolutely.
That's a perfect word. And we've shifted some things around. I'm able to have my own time, Nacy time. That's not mom time. That's not partner time. And I think that is helping me mentally, also physically, because I'm not feeling as weighted down with the weight of all of these other things or the pressure of all of these other things. Gotcha. So
I think with that being said, right, and I think that dynamic actually goes both ways. You spoke on the mother-wife aspect because of how from a gender role standpoint, more times than not, seemingly more falls on your plate. But I would say it does go both ways as far as needing that time to yourself. And you don't realize it until you start offering your partner or your significant other that time, the response that they give you once they're refreshed, right? And it's just one of those things. Yeah, it's a struggle initially because it's different, right? So your dynamic changes and what you're used to changes. Right. But once you see the actual results of, again, having that me time and that time to replenish and refresh, they come back almost a new person.
Yeah, you got energy.
So like I said, you struggle initially, but yeah, when you get back together, it's a different moment. Definitely a different vibe. Did you have anything as far as like, because you touched on the topic, you said vision board.
Oh, right.
So we did actually attend a virtual vision board party.
Right.
And the reason, let's talk through that. So where did that come from?
Yeah, this is from The Voice. Right?
Yeah.
So this was a vision, pun intended, right? Something that me and the boss lady started about 4 years ago.
Another pet name. Okay. I gotta amp my game up. Okay.
Oh man, but it's more kudos to her. She had the initial vision to do it, right? Because she wanted to see her vision written down or see her vision physically on a board, poster board.
Gotcha.
So it just gives you more of a tangible attachment to what you want to see for your future. So like I said, we started this 4 years ago, obviously, and then last year was obviously tough because of the whole pandemic, so we didn't get to have it. But we did have one this past, say a couple weeks ago. We had one. It was definitely. I think every time that we've had it, it's been a success. No matter the amount of people attending, I felt like whoever was there, it was necessary for them. So it was definitely something that we decided to do and wanted to continue to do. Because, like I said, we see the fruits of the labor.
So I'll tell you, as someone who has attended, I'll specifically point to, I want to say 2018 or 2018. So I'll just be transparent, right? When you first brought it up and the vision board thing came up, I was like, yeah, whatever, right? I wasn't like the biggest, hey, let's all get in a room, cut up, magazines or whatever.
Talk about our feelings and our goals.
It just didn't speak to who I was, right?
Sexist. We look at it as a woman thing. Right?
Yeah.
At least I've heard women do it for years.
But it kind of caught me in a moment where I all of a sudden was just open to, well, okay, let's at least go see what this is about. And so, because I had never been to one and I had heard about them. So I ended up attending, right? And from the moment that we started doing it, I got the point, right? And the point was synergy, right? Synergy is very, very important. And you don't know how important it is till you feel it, right? Because synergy is not something you can drum up. It's just something that it happens and you're there and you live and you exist in that moment, right? And so as I'm doing my board, I'm beginning to get excited because I'm like, well, can this happen? Right?
Exactly.
Is there more to this? Right?
Because people were focused on their board. It wasn't like it was like a party. It was
we were
like,
veterans in the game.
No, we was into,
and
affirmation.
And now as you're doing these things, what happens is, and I'll speak for myself, I began to see myself accomplishing these things through this board, right? So go back to 2018. It was a trying year for multiple reasons. And literally everything on that board, I can't say that I set a path out to accomplish those things, but literally everything on that board manifested
somehow. Yeah.
And I called you and I told you, and I was like, listen, man, that board that board was serious, right? And now I look forward to every year getting together and putting these boards together. And so I just wanted to again thank you, for bringing me into that and bringing me around to the thought, because there's something about your vision being in front of you, and then the process of chasing it down. Yeah,
man, I have a similar experience. Right, I've attended all three of the last four. When I first had the kind of same experience that Lee had in terms of maybe this isn't for me. Little boss mama took me. She took me like, hey, let's just do it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure. I need one. But we went, and once I saw the process, right, I said, okay, let's check this out. Let's really dive deep into it. Yeah. And to Lee's point, everything that I put on that board manifested, and that was from getting rid of debt to creating something. Right. I knew I wanted to do something where I had the opportunity to express how I felt, music, comedy, podcast, whatever it was, right? So,
stripping.
Stripping.
To each his own, my God. To each his own.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
But yeah, so once I got it on paper, to your point, it was in my office, and every day I'm in my office, it's just in my peripheral, and I just see it, and I just attacked it. And from that, again, right, this has been something that spawned from that. And one thing I want to point out, right, so year 2, we doubled back, right? And I felt like I had accomplished pretty much everything that I wanted at that point, right? So I didn't take year 2 as serious.
Yeah.
And from that year was just kind of a wash, low key. It's weird how that worked out, right? And then I think we had that conversation, right? I brought my year 2 vision board
back to that one,
and I cut it up, right? Because I just put a bunch of stuff on paper because I was like, well, I've done this already. I figured it out, right? And I didn't put any purpose behind it, right? So yeah, the manifestation was there, but I had to put some work into it. And when this year I perfectly crafted my vision board, and I cut up the things that I knew I wanted to do last year, but I just didn't accomplish. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to 22.
So
long story short.
So there's been some other examples, more so from a public standpoint, that also called into question vision and where you see yourself and how you see yourself. 2 prominent examples that stood out to me were, the first was Nick Cannon. So as many of you may have heard, Nick Cannon and Wildin' Out.
He got his job back.
He made some semantic comments, right, and was abruptly removed from the air. Wildin' Out was abruptly canceled, et cetera, et cetera. He has since, I don't know if you want to call it made up. Made good, right? Made good with the Jewish community, and now, from what I understand, Wildin' Out will be coming back on the air. Dave Chappelle, another example. Most of you know, walked away from $50 million from Comedy Central. The Chappelle Show was run. The reruns for the Chappelle Show obviously were extremely lucrative for Comedy Central. Yeah. Dave Chappelle, as one man, reached out to the people directly and asked them to stop supporting Netflix and Comedy Central playing his reruns.
Yeah, right? Because he wasn't getting paid.
Because he wasn't being compensated.
His name, his likeness, any of that. Right.
This just happened a couple of months ago, and now he has been compensated. He's been compensated by Comedy Central.
Right.
And now he has basically come back out and said, "Hey guys, it's okay to now support."
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. Now let's give it up for that.
Yeah, that's power, man.
Protect your content, man.
Yeah.
So he now is saying it's okay to come back and support his show. So where I'm going with all that is to say, I don't think either one of those gentlemen knew how their lives were going to play out when they made the decisions that they made. Right. When Nick Cannon decided he was going to make those comments, he felt in his heart and his soul that's what he should have said. Right. He knew his platforms, and he had an idea of the risk, but he went with it anyway. Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million, decided to come out and tell everybody, because mind you, the whole stop supporting Chappelle's show could have also imploded on him, right? It could have went the other way, but they did it anyway. So that leads me to say, where do you envision yourself And is there a particular challenge? I know you made a decision coming into this year that we talked about, and I don't know how deep you want to get into that, but I told you, I commend you for that, just because everybody I think wants to do that. And I don't know if you do. Are you okay with talking about it? Okay, yeah. So can you explain the decision that you made and walking in that quote unquote vision?
Yes. So I have been working in real estate part-time for about 4.5 years. And through COVID and just life experiences have ultimately made the decision to do real estate full-time. So I have left my full-time 9-to-5 job that brings me a paycheck in every 2 weeks, and have given all of my energy and my time into my real estate business.
What was that? What was that feeling like? Was there? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Angst.
In one word,
Yeah.
terrifying.
Okay.
I think that, I mean, you have so many responsibilities as an adult. I have kids, I have a husband, I have, bills. And
all built on this pillar of having a 9-to-5.
Having this 9-to-5 in which I have continued to get promotions and at a salary where, thankfully, and feeling very blessed, I can swipe my card and not have to worry about checking the account, right?
Whoa, let's stop there. That was a slight flex. Yeah, we can't just can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a very supportive
But we at 3ThePodWay still would like you to cash out.
We check our account every day.
Right. So we are still in need of please don't take that into consideration. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You guys are
we're struggling.
Got it. Well,
struggling artists.
I could maybe be a sponsor. No, but I think it's I'm very fortunate to have a very supportive spouse in which we have been talking about this for quite some time. And I was like, I want to pull the trigger. Business has been kind of booming. And I feel like it was good when it was part-time. I didn't have to worry about going out and like seeking clients. When they came, it was perfect. It was enough to manage when you're working full-time. And so now that I'm able to devote additional time and energy and resources into the business, it's only gotten that much better. But I was petrified.
So what has been the personal, tangible thing that you've received as a result of this decision?
What you mean?
Like from a life standpoint, like do you feel like a weight has been lifted? Do you feel freer,
Yes.
from that aspect? Yeah.
Absolutely. So when we talked about what my New Year's resolutions were, so goal was overall health and wellness. So a lot of why I made the decision, a lot of energy went into how I was feeling and had to take my health into major consideration.
Okay, that's important.
My job was absolutely fantastic. I managed a unit at a local university.
Yeah, for sure.
For many years, and a lot of weight comes when you are responsible for that many people, that kind of budget, those types of things, and not having enough support to really do your job to the best of the ability.
Doing more with less, right? Absolutely.
So the idea about pulling back or even taking vacation time, your phone is always ringing or it's always text messages or it's always something.
But it's different when your phone rings for something that is yours.
Right, because you're still going to face those hurdles for sure.
So when it's your time and those impedance exists, you still you have a different feeling about them happening.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't feel as much. It doesn't feel like pressure. It feels like it's time for you to show up. It's time for you to show up.
Right.
Come on,
get the job done.
Right.
So yeah.
So do you have any visions or any like manifestations that have occurred? Or?
I mean, I think, like I said, I spoke this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something right now. And I appreciate you for helping this come to fruition. And now we have like a team, if you will, right?
Right.
Carlisle and Nacy and L and everybody. So it's like,
well, don't.
I like to be used by stage
oh,
name.
sorry.
Yeah.
Dirty Diana.
Yeah,
and,
but remember,
Sesly Boy.
But remember how L acts when you start saying his name.
And Wave Grease over there.
He's in the video. And yeah.
But yeah, so that was my manifestation, right?
Right.
I've always...
You dropped the album.
Yeah, I've always known I wanted to do this.
You dropped the album.
You wanted to. You always knew you wanted to crawl before you walked.
No, man. No.
Keep going.
No, talk that talk, man. No, you dropped the album.
Yeah, that.
No. Stop. I got it.
Yeah.
You want me to?
My man Basics dropped the album.
He did what?
He dropped the album.
Go.
2020.
That's available on all social media.
Available on all streaming sites, platforms, mediums.
You really got to get
Basics.
Your Diddy vibes up.
Walk before you run.
Yeah. Walk before you run. If you want a problem. Am I going too far?
I think so. Solve it.
I think so.
But no, hey, seriously, that's a big deal, man. You dropped the album, man. Hey, let's give it up for him.
I think I'm a creative by nature, so that helps. Yeah, so it's just ways to.
It's interesting when we whatever, man. It's interesting
to release.
It's interesting when we start talking about him. All of a sudden, he gets
nervous. He blushing. Look at him.
He don't even get nervous. He gets fake humble. Now he's over here like, hey guys.
Hey, I just want to thank everyone for the support.
If y'all hear this cat,
that's when he turns into Earl. He's Earl right now.
If they could hear him talk about himself any other time,
support is appreciated, and I really want to thank our partners in Pod for listening and just being here, right? Being available.
Can you mute the mic?
Hey, matter of fact, speaking of that, all 275 of them, take that. Let's give it up for them.
We're building a community.
Yeah.
But you said something interesting to me.
I always say something interesting.
Here we go. Okay, here we go.
If you're gonna do it, y'all need to douse yourselves. Relax.
Look, this is about to get spicy. When we FaceTime.
Oh my God!
You would admit that on the air?
There goes that 275.
But no, we were talking and we had a conversation about like this manifestation and all that.
Right.
But the question was like, how did we get here? Right.
Right.
Like I don't want to take it from you, but it was kind of dope, so I'm gonna act like it was mine. Right. Like at one point we were all children in our parents' homes. Right.
Right.
And now, for some of us, we have for our listeners as well, we have our own families. We own our own homes. We have vehicles, right? And these were things that it wasn't happenstance, right? It didn't, like, we earned it in some way, right? We worked towards it. We manifested these thoughts, these materialistic things or whatever, the visions.
Right.
So how did we get here?
Yeah, I don't think that to that point, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. Right. We begin to see things as elementary, as run of the mill, as conditioning, if you will. But to your point, the conversation started based around at one point you were just simply a child in your parents' home and you didn't know what you were going to do, what you were going to be, how you were going to do it. And now you are responsible, as you put, right? You're responsible for a whole family, a whole team of strangers, in essence, that you help their manifestations, right? You help them achieve their dreams.
That was deep.
You are now, in essence, a gatekeeper. And again, we don't give ourselves enough credit, right? Because it could just be something as simple as you're having a conversation with a friend of yours who has a business, who knows somebody that she went to school with, who's a videographer, who you end up meeting, who ends up knowing exactly what it is you need.
Right.
A 15-minute conversation has led to everything that you see here from a visual standpoint. And that's all it was. We sat down, we talked, we had a conversation. And that, again, that synergy, remember we talked, I said enough said. I was like 15 minutes in, I think this is it. Because you were already completing the halfway thought that I was having when we were having that conversation.
Right.
Talking to Carlisle, right, led to having a relationship with Earl, which has led to any number of other business ventures and entities that we now have.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, your life has been enhanced.
Well,
you don't have to say it. This cool. It's cool. I'm humble. I'll be humble. Go ahead. You're welcome.
This was nice until it wasn't.
But it's just going back to, again, the thought process of visions, manifestations, and going back to the whole concept of the movie The Best Man. Having that team and that circle around you that supports those visions. No matter how big or how small a dream may be for someone around you, and it's not just friends. Sometimes family, it's the hardest to support because of proximity. That's a whole nother topic for us, but we talk about this all the time. Proximity can be like the worst thing when it comes to dreaming, right? Because sometimes your dream can be so big that those around you feel like they're blinded by the light.
And they can't see it.
Right. And it's
almost not their fault. Though.
It's not their fault. And I wanted to say that. It's not their fault, right? Yeah. Because sometimes you don't even notice that you're doing it, right? Because the first thing that we hear, and I'm going down a path, but the first thing that you hear when you start something and it starts rolling is, man, my family doesn't support me. Or you wonder why, you're like, man, I know 1,000 people. How come I'm only seeing minimal results or minimal gain from what I'm doing? But again, it's incumbent to just keep pushing through, keep supporting, because maybe now they start something and you support them and now they get it and then they pass that on and then it just, it pays itself forward.
I agree.
So that's a long way of saying, hey man, let's just continue to support each other and let's just keep striving.
In the essence of that too, I think also we do have to shout out family too, especially our parents and the upbringings that we've had, right? Because like you said, we all had dreams. Like, I mean, I had a dream growing up. I wanted to be a firefighter or a police officer because you see that on TV, right? And if you have like parents who support your imagination, right, just say, hey, go ahead and do what you can do, whatever you want to do, right? The sky's the limit. Give them all the opportunities that they can afford to give you, right? I think you got to give kudos to them, like especially for African American families, growing up in certain situations, or like for my upbringing, coming from third world country parents, right? They came in with nothing and they grinded from the bottom to get to where they were. Right? And like you said, give yourselves credit, but also give the credits to the ones who set the foundation for you too as well. So
absolutely.
Man, that's heavy. Sure. To that point, right? I think the saying goes, you can't be what you can't see, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So imagine that though, right? Like you saying, your parents coming from a foreign country, coming here. So what you saw was limited, right?
Exactly.
But you still persevered, right? Even though the vision that you saw in front of you may not have been as grand, right? As someone whose parents are doctors or lawyers, or whatever the case is, right?
Limited.
So that in itself is even impressive that you are here and successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I just think that's important. I do want to say another thing. I saw something online. I thought it was pretty dope in terms of this doctor or whatever, he said what success is, right? I mean, you could probably Google it, but it's a 3-part formula. It's ability, opportunity, and consistency, right? And we talk about success and manifestations, and I think that all plays a role, So we all have the ability, right? The opportunity was, kind of us meeting and identifying what your skills were and, finding the ability. We had the opportunity to meet each other and, you keep trying and you keep at it, right? At some point, this is gonna blow, and whatever you have going on is gonna blow, right? Because if you stay consistent with it, right? So that's really the key. So
so what we want to do is we want to ask, what are your visions? What has manifested for you over the last, I would say, year, especially with it being so unique and so tough? Have you had any successes? Have you attended a vision board party? And if you have, what was the outcome of that? Have you had a similar experience to ours, or do you have a different take on vision board parties? We definitely would like to hear your thoughts on that. Now, before we get out of here, L, can I get a camera? Can I get that?
Oh boy, here we go.
Nah, it's all good. Don't worry.
He's fixing his sweatshirt.
Gosh. Respectfully, to my ladies, my ladies with edges or even without, for that matter. Let's stay away from the Gorilla Glue. I don't think there needs to be anything else said, but I'm here for you. But yeah, I mean, there's any number of other products that I think we could utilize. But yeah, let's stay away from the Gorilla Glue. That's a public service announcement. Word from our sponsors.
Follow 3ThePodWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
I mean, every week, like literally, like our pool of potential listeners and viewers is here, right? And then we talk about how trash this car is, right? And then like this
some of my favorite card
is
games
disgusting. And then this type of people. And then we're
Ashley's don't make good pancakes.
Right,
so
right. And
she's
then
gone.
no pancakes. And then we're like, oh no, we actually care about everybody. And then Malcom Luther Lee he'll jump in and be like, actually, my brother. And now the edges. So now all of our edgeless listeners.
No, I didn't.
Now he did say.
I included everyone.
See, but it was like a backhanded thing, right? Because we know
No, it wasn't. Don't make it that.
Okay,
No.
you did that. You did this because those without edges are the ones that need the Gorilla Glue the most.
Yikes. And with that.
I didn't say that. And with that,
one thing for sure, man.
two things for certain.
3ThePodWay.
We love y'all.